Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I am your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan.
Do you think you're on the Everman stage already, or what, Cornelius Patrick?
Come here, girl. This is the way I talk all the time. Do you know what I mean? Don't be telling me how to talk. I don't tell you what to wear. Like, look at the state of your beyond. Like, do you know what I mean? Going around with a big hoodie on you inside in the house. Like, welcome to Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, and today, both me and my wife, the better part of my life, Noelle Patricia Ní Murdochú, are in the John Hume War Room. We're in the John Hume War Room. The time is 1:05.
Yeah.
1:05. No way.
Yes. Jesus.
That's the time. Yeah. That's the time that and I need to turn my phone fucking upside down because, do you know, when your phone is there and it's flashing notifications, it totally takes away your attention.
You need to turn off the notifications on your phone.
I need to turn off the notifications on my phone, ladies and gentlemen. My wife is micromanaging my life, and she is turning me into Pat Kenny. Hello, everybody. Pat.
While you're good, come back
Hello.
into the room now.
Hello,
Come
Pat.
in. Come
Pat.
back.
Hello, Pat.
Come back into the room there, bye.
Hi, how's it going? I was outside there the whole time.
Who was here, Pat?
There was a couple of fellas just walked out the door there. There was a fella from the north side. There was Pat. What was Pat Kenny doing here?
I don't know.
Were you having an affair with Pat Kenny and a fella from the north side?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Well, I suppose that answers that. Do you know what I mean?
Job done.
Oh, look, the podcast is going, is it? Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, and it is great to talk to ye. It is Monday, the 22nd of January, and it is 1 o'clock. It is 6 minutes past 1 o'clock. I lied there. I don't know why I said 1 o'clock. I was looking at the
panic?
time.
Do you have a little panic?
The panic. I was like, do you know what I'll do? I'll shave the 6 minutes off here. I'll just tell them it's 1.
I'm
People
just
could be
gonna
listening
lie.
to this at any time of the day. It makes no difference to them when it was recorded. I should have just said 6 minutes past 1 o'clock. We're in the John Hume War Room. But I didn't. I said 1 and now I
Were you
regret
trying to be
it.
kind of cool or something?
I don't know. How was that? How would, like, maybe I was, like, but I don't know how it's cooler if it was one, like, by saying 1 as opposed to 6 minutes past 1. How does that make me cooler? But maybe that's what I was trying to do. Life's fucked up that way, isn't it?
Gone a bit high or something.
No, I'm actually not high at all. You know, taking a handy on the old weed there at the moment. Well, not yesterday.
Gas, your high and my high are two totally different thoughts.
Why? What's? Oh, you're thinking of high dough, like.
Yeah. Whereas yours is kind of like high and.
I've just taken a line of coke and I'm high off my tits. Whereas your type of high is like, oh yeah, he's mentally gone high there now, like.
Yeah, he's as high as a kite.
High as a kite.
But yours, no, because I could see cocaine being that kind of high, but like your high is weed, which is kind of a total different high anyway.
It's
It
like
wouldn't-
totally far out, dude.
Well, it wouldn't make you high as a kite.
No.
It would make you kind of saunter across the mountains high.
Yeah.
Wander aimlessly across the mountain.
I'd
top.
love to be a wanderer. I have the staff. Do you know, if I was a wanderer, right, we'll say if like.
Oh, Jesus, darling, you definitely get lost in the mountains.
I know, but if I brought sandwiches. And I was going to say Hunter'd have to come with me. You know, I'd like at the moment now, Hunter is just hanging off my heels and it's lovely. Do you know?
Yeah,
I'd love to go wandering with him up the
You'd
mountains.
love that, yeah.
Yeah. We went on a couple of walks last week, me and Hunter. Oh, God almighty. I remember I went on one particular walk with him last week and I'd say I'll probably remember it till the day I die.
Oh, Jeannie.
It was one of those, like, he's at the age now where he's hanging on every word.
He actually literally is hanging on every word you say. Looks over at you at the dinner table. All right, yeah, I'll try that. Or like, my dad said this. Like,
Yeah.
peak.
It's peak, like, and I'm soaking it in. And sometimes, you know, you're busy. You kind of, I don't know if we talked about this. Sometimes you are busy and you can't give them the there and then attention, you know. But by and large,
We do. By and large.
I don't think we do, Con.
Don't you think so?
I think you, yeah.
Okay. I'll take it all back. We don't give our kids any attention.
Like the amount of time, not the amount of times, but like you see now if Hunter asks you to do something and the look of shock that'll come on his face when you say, okay, yeah, right now, to play that game or to do that. Usually it's in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like,
oh, yeah, it's
like,
rarely. Okay, so I'll cede to that particular point that he may not, like he might go, would you play toys with me? But like this could be now, it could be in the middle of doing something in work, right? And
yeah,
I'd be going into the kitchen to get a glass of water before I get back to work, like.
Yeah.
And I'd say, oh, I can't do it now, Hunt, but give me 5 minutes, give me 10 minutes, I have to make a call or finish an email or whatever, and I'll come into you. But if I had said, yeah, let's do it, and I dropped everything, but I think any child would be fucking like that.
I know. I'm not saying.
But you're after taking the glass off me wandering across the mountains with him now.
It was still beautiful. It was lovely. It was lovely.
God almighty, she's after taking this whole podcast down there now, isn't she? I mean, it's a Monday. I'm on my second cup of coffee. I'm feeling great, and she's like, "Yeah, no, you're not a great dad.
Yeah, you're shit.
You're kind of
shit. That's
shit."
what you heard.
Yeah, do you know what you should do now? Fucking go off and wander up there and don't take any sandwiches with you. And if you don't come back,
grind.
No bother.
That's taking a dark turn. See, maybe we talk about couples that laugh at each other darkly. Oh my God, have we become that couple? I just wanted you to fall off a cliff there. I mean, no, I didn't. But we took the
well,
joke
I'll often
there.
say, like, I mean, if you died tragically in a car accident, you know what I mean? Like tragic, like, or if you like struck down, unexpectedly by a train or something like that, I would mourn you solidly. I think I'd mourn you solidly for all my life.
Oh.
Right? But I'd get back up on the saddle. How soon would you get back up in the saddle? I don't know, because more, it's weird. I'd like to think that I'd never get back up in the saddle. That's what I'd like to think. But I know you give it a good 2 or 3 months anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not even fucking joking, you see. This is the thing, is no, you're not allowed. You need to mourn me for at least 12 months.
Yeah,
before
I'll give you 12 months.
Give me the 12 months, babe, right? And if there's some fella coming on to you and you're fucking frothing at the lips, just hold back, for the 12 months. Yeah. I mean, just out of respect for me, because I'm probably going to go out my whole life.
You wouldn't.
No fucking way. I'd be like, yeah, the mortgage is paid. Woo!
He so would. He so would, actually.
I so would what?
You'd be
riding all around me?
No, you wouldn't.
I'd have no
You'd
interest.
actually be zero. You'd be like a hermit around the place.
Yeah. I actually fucking...
Let's get out of this conversation.
I want to talk about this, exactly.
Move on. Yeah,
but you brought it all down. You are the fault of this fucking podcast starting off dark and getting darker by the second.
Let's bring it back up to sunshine.
Thank you to all the patrons who've signed up for the Patreon. We've had a few new patrons in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And today, this is our second podcast today. We've already done our Patreon podcast earlier this morning.
We did.
And we've got a couple of new patrons. Peter the Florist signed up. Shane Fallon, Cian McGillicuddy, Michelle, Adrian Gurnett, Tony. Oh, they're all older.
Yeah,
they're all older ones. I don't know what I'm looking at here.
Peter and Michelle are new.
Peter the Florist is new and Michelle is new. But that doesn't mean I don't love you, Adrian Gurnett. I love you, Cian McGillicuddy. You're my cousin. I've always loved you, Cian. We need to talk.
But yeah, so
Shane
on our
Fallon.
podcast, on the Patreon, we talked about...
What was today's episode about? Give him a snapshot.
It was about
Give him a
the
taste.
5K and where we're at with that now and how soon we're going to be doing marathons. Or are we? We also talked about piles. Piles of clothes, piles of clothes and decluttering. And how I'm going to turn it.
You need to sell this fucking Patreon, babe.
Maybe people would like to hear about all piles.
It started off terrible and it got worse. Let's go back again. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have this full-time Patreon, this full-time podcaster sitting beside me here, Noelle Patricia Nimuraku Osulawan Nimuraku, right? And she's going to sell why you should sign up to today's Patreon. Why you should sign up to the Patreon in general for only €5 euros a month. Off you go. Go.
Well, actually, I never told you this. Somebody gave the feedback that it was inspirational. Our Patreon was inspirational. Now so
And
what
that-
shall it inspire to do? Who knows? Get rid of your piles of clothes?
Today's episode was actually very interesting. I did find it unusually for us. It was kind of. I think that's why this one is a bit messy.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
We were like we had stuff to talk about.
We talked about stuff.
We talked about our Couch to 5K, or starting on week 3. Then we went on to how we're trying to declutter the house, and you had 6 piles and what this pile represented and what this pile represented. We're not talking about the piles in your whole year. And it was like a fucking a nitty-gritty, meaty interest. Like, we even came away, we're like, I might listen back to that myself.
Yeah.
Be inspired myself by my own actions. Jesus Christ almighty.
But for us today, what are we talking about today on the main platform that we are on now?
Well,
Since this is Conversations with Cornelius.
Conversations
And
with
you are the
Cornelius.
host, Cornelius.
I am
So
indeed.
let's chat.
Right, okay, let's chit chat. So today we're playing Trending Topics.
Oh,
with
I've missed
Cornelius
them.
Patrick
Great.
O'Sullivan.
We haven't done them in ages,
In
have we?
ages. So we're just going to get right into it. So
Go.
Storm Aisha.
Aisha, is
yeah.
it?
Storm Aisha. So it's STORM capital L. Is it ISHA? Aisha, I'd say. Aisha.
Isha?
Yeah. Isha, maybe. Isha.
Oh yeah, that's the storm we had last night. I was said to you yesterday, isn't it gas? This house you wouldn't hear, you don't hear a thing.
Mm.
Like, it might be dark. This house might be dark, but it
Cold.
has and cold. But it might have the benefits of the small windows, making that you can't hear a thing in it.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be pretty bad.
Yeah, we had 2 chairs knocked over.
Yeah. Isha, so that means that they're on the eyes, is it? They change it for every it
Yep.
for every storm. I don't know really what to say about Storm Isha. I suppose, of course, it's trending. They're always going to have, like, we love to talk about the weather in Ireland, like.
Yeah, well,
Jesus
I suppose there was a it was a red weather warning in parts of Ireland.
A wet weather warning?
Wet weather warning.
It was a are you telling me it was a wet weather warning?
Yeah.
A wet weather warning.
There was a wet weather warning.
We had a wet weather warning here last night. It's very.
But
how
how do you feel about red weather warnings?
Well, I prefer them to wet weather warnings. How do I feel about it? Why? I presume, is that the worst?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I didn't pay it much.
So if you have a red, so we were only in orange anyway yesterday.
Oh, were we?
But I think, like, here, we don't, as I said, we don't really hear it. Even though we can look out and you can see the trees moving, and you're like, oh, it's actually wild enough out. That's generally what we say. Like, we don't hear it. We sleep through it usually. Like, the kids, we went to sleep last night. We slept the whole night. The kids slept all night. Anything could have been going on outside.
Yeah.
But you'd hear a lot of people, when there's a red weather warning. Sure, there was nothing last night. What, like, a couple of trees down, and you're like, or nothing happened yesterday. When, like, a red warning, if you're in an area of red warning, it can cause a lot of wet weather warning. It can cause a lot of interruptions to people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, and even when I used to be in work, if there's a red weather warning, then stuff changes. People are not on site, or they're brought on site, and you scale down who's on site and who's not on site, and there's meetings, evening meetings, and talks and decisions are made about what's critical to keep running, and it adds this extra level of stress.
Yeah.
But it's like, and then you have people the following day going, sure, there's nothing, like, there's only a few trees down. But I do think that they're so important because, like, people are at home because there's a red weather warning. They might go still gallivanting if there wasn't,
And get blown off the road.
Yeah, or there'd be more accidents. There'd
But
be
you know
more
what
thing.
what's interesting to me about it, right? So, first of all, they're vital, obviously. Fucking weather warnings, whatever the weather.
Whether the weather is fine or whether the weather is not. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, what she said. And whether it's a wet weather warning.
I said that
That's
that
a lovely
rhyme was
saying.
wrong.
That's from The Smugglers, is it?
Yeah, but I said I can't remember the start of that. Is whether the weather be whether the weather be fine, whether the weather be not. We'll weather the weather. I'm
We'll
missing
weather the weather.
the end of it is
wet
correct,
Together,
but the start
shove
of
it
it is
up
a
your
little
hole.
bit wrong.
This weather.
Go on anyway.
Anyway, right. So we were taking the kids to school this morning, okay? And we had this storm pass through us last night, which we were saying that because we have a big old fucking block of a house, we didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Um,
Until the day that probably the slates
But then we got up
start
this
coming
morning
out.
and you could see as
The
we were
debris.
driving, there was a road sign saying "Don't drive through here," you know.
How'd
And
that go for you?
I drove through it, but that's because I'm Irish. And but this is what I want to say, right? Is there are people. This is who I'm interested in, right? There are people, and this because I don't have this in me, and I'd like to have a little bit more of it in me,
Oh, yeah.
right? We live in a parish. I still feel we're new to this parish.
We are very new to it.
really
yeah.
new.
We're first generation Killavonalers.
We're first generation Villaners. And but someone put a sign on either side of the road for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's going to be someone cleaning up, branches and sweeping the streets, and there's going to be people, like walking down riverbanks, looking at floodplains and stuff like that, and putting up warnings and stuff like that. I think, aren't those people great?
Yeah.
Aren't those people God's people? Like that they're genuine. Like some people are genuinely
community people.
Do you know what I'll do there now? I'll get that sign up there because they're definitely not getting paid for it. Like, you know what I mean? They're definitely not getting paid for pulling branches off roads and stuff like that. But they genuinely care about the community. And I'm not just saying our community. Now, these are people that exist all over.
No, because
all over.
actually, another good example of it is in Waterville. All the people that would clear the promenade when there's a storm, and they're down and they're clear. They're the same types of people that are just really into the community.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great people in Killavullen that are big into the community as well. The people doing the lights and for Christmas and doing all that Santi, and like it's a huge event for such a tiny small village. Like, but what was my point? What's our point? That we're not those people. We are not that type of people.
We're not that type of
No.
We're not that
But they're
type
great.
of person.
Those type of people are brilliant.
And the world needs them. And as I said to you, I'd like, because I'm not naturally that way,
No.
but I admire it in a person. I do admire that trait.
Yeah,
that they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what? And it's not that I'm selfish or anything like that. It's just it doesn't dawn on me. Or if it did dawn on me, I'd be like even to go down and close the gate is a pain in the hole. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But I suppose you do it in a different way. You're very helpful in comedy. Like, you give new comedians a lot of time, and you give them. That's giving you yourself and your time to others.
Yeah, but it's not community based. Do you know what I mean? It's not for the good. That's for a niche people. That's for people who can actually, and they'll know straight away. He helped me. Do you know what I mean? Whereas these people are doing selfless work. Like, I don't know who put out those signs. I don't know who cleared those roads.
Do you
know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going out and they're just doing it for humanity. I think they're great people. I think they're people. But anyway, listen, we have to move on. To next trending topic. The passing of #Ian Bailey.
Oh,
Ian
did he die?
Bailey has popped his mortal coil. He is no longer with us. Ian Bailey, who was the chief suspect in the 1996 murder of Sophie Toussaint Duplatier. And he has passed. And
does it say what he died? Was he sick? Was he ill?
I don't know. I don't know. Let me have a look.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. God, he's a figure that would have been in our lives forever, for a long time. When was that? 95? Is that you said?
96.
96. So he's in for 20 years nearly.
Like I follow
fighting his case.
I follow this fella on Twitter, and he's a friend of mine as well. I won't give his name out, right? But this is what he tweeted about it. Okay. The morning of the murder, #Ian Bailey rang 2 people and his wife. Told a third about the murder when no one could have known. Then he gets told by Irish Examiner that it's a foreign national, but turns up at the scene without being told who it was. Of course he bloody did it. No alibi. Recent fire with burnt clothes out the back. Who burns clothes? bungled forensics, lied about knowing the victim, admitted to doing it, history of violence, fair play to the French, what an embarrassment to the Irish justice system. The years of vested interest, dereliction, lack of investment in public services and infrastructure have culminated in the housing crisis and the lack of facilities for refugees. Yet this was all passed over along with this ridiculous event. Kind of went into a kind of a meandering thing there at the end, but yeah, it's interesting because like I haven't listened to that documentary. I think I might have write 2 separate tweets there. Actually, I did actually. That's a second. Yeah, but basically,
oh bless.
Yeah, it's I did. Remember
we watched one. We did. Oh, but we didn't listen to the podcast.
I never listened to the podcast, no. And I don't think I watched anything either as well. I never really looked into it.
Did you not watch the Netflix? There's a Netflix one on it.
I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Sometimes when stuff is too popular and everyone's talking about it, I do the exact. It's so stupid. I'd be like, I'm not watching that. Everyone's
it's too mainstream for you. Yet you'll watch Selling Sunset, is it?
Selling Sunset is high art. Okay, it's high art. Those women have
high art.
They have
high art. Yeah,
the best clothes, the best bodies, and the best sales techniques that I would buy a house off them. Now, could I afford one? No, they're mostly in the tens of millions. But I would definitely be interested in having a showing. I go for a few for an open house.
It's a showing you'd want outright buying, I'd say.
Sure, look, listen, if they were showing it, I'd have a look. That would be it. But Ian Bailey, like, I will say one thing. A couple of years ago, we were thinking of buying a house down in West Cork before we bought this house. Down in Calekill, down in West Cork. And you, me, and Harvey, Hunter wasn't born at the time, went down and stayed in Skibbereen. And the West Cork Festival was on.
We went to Bantry.
Bantry. Was it Bantry or Skibbereen?
Oh no, I'm confusing 2 trips.
You're thinking of there's the Bantry one, which is the Bantry Bank, right? Okay. And then the Skibbereen one was when we were buying Calekill.
Yes.
When we were thinking of buying the house in Calekill, because Skibbereen would have been the main town. Can you remember this?
Yeah.
Genuinely?
I remember. Yeah, I remember now us in the cafe.
Yeah.
But I forgot that they were 2 separate West Cork trips for a minute. Yeah.
And we were going down just to suss it out and see how far is it from Cork, and with Coco and Brinny and
the roads.
What were the roads like? What are the facilities like? And we stayed in a hotel, but it happened to be the West Cork Literary Festival happened to be on at the same time. Yes. I do a lot of poetry in my stand-up, so I said, because I'm a fucking addict, I said to you, do you mind if I go down? There's an open mic kind of thing happening below, and you can read out some poems. And I was like, this would be great now.
So as the kind supporting wife said, go on away, so fuck. Get out of my face.
Get out of my face. You were delighted.
A bottle of wine.
And so in fairness, I only went down for an hour. But Ian Bailey was there.
Oh yeah. Forgot about this.
He had a trilogy of poems. And they were fucking brilliant.
Were they?
They were absolutely beautiful poems. I remember being gobsmacked at the beauty in his language. Now, I don't know if he killed that woman.
He did.
I don't know if he did or not. I had nothing to do. I don't know. He probably did. Looking at that tweet, it looks fairly damning, But the French are hunting him down, and but he's gone now. He's gone. Oh look, 1 second now here. Danny Ryan, the comedian. Let us today reflect on the truly criminal poetry of Ian Bailey and the worst footnote in history and published literature. Oh fucking Girl Who Sits at Night. Oh, will we read out this? This is a poem.
Okay, go on.
This is a poem by Ian Bailey, right? Like the trilogy he wrote out now on the day, I thought was great, okay? But this is, I've never heard this. Girl Who Sits on the 933. Hey girl who sits on the 933, sits at an angle opposite to me, hair a mane of animal splendour, would you spare a glance for this big spender? Creepy. But tell me, girl who sits on the 933 at a 65-degree angle opposite to me, why do you fill your lovely head with Cosmo, Miss London, and Elle, Pretty Tell. Pray tell. Why do you fill your pretty head with such more Tosmo and gel? O girl who sits on the 933, sits at an angle opposite to me, would you please fill your head more usefully? Okay, I take it all back. He was a creep.
That's stalker-esque.
That
like,
is
this alludes. This is like to the point that he loved the attention as well.
Yeah.
Like he didn't let it go because, like, you could say, oh, he was, you know, fighting his case and fighting for his own justice within the Irish legal system, and you know, but
I'm just reading other things here now. A suspected woman murderer and self-confessed woman beater always went out of his way to show people he was not a complete slimeball or danger to women on Twitter. And then they're just showing all bad tweets that he did. Okay. Maybe I will go back and I wouldn't mind. Do you know what? I'm looking for a new podcast. I'm doing a gig tonight in Dublin. If anyone's around, I'm in Whelan's in Dublin tonight, and I am all out of podcasts, so I might tune into that. So Ian Bailey, he's gone. Doesn't matter now. He's gone. Fuck him. Hashtag last hashtag babe. Room to improve.
Room to improve.
We've got room to improve on this
We
fucking
definitely-
podcast.
We've got room to
All
improve.
we're doing is
in this
talking
house.
shit today.
We have room to improve. I was only thinking yesterday, every room in this house needs work done to it.
Every room in this house needs work to
And
be
it's
done
not,
to it.
it's not even just going, do you know what this could do with a paint? Like,
No.
actually, the only room, the playroom is probably the only room that is, this could do with a paint.
Yeah,
That's
and
the-
new windows.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And
I knew.
a massive clear out.
Oh, yeah, but like, I'm
But
talking
no, I know
about
what you're saying.
room to improve. It's not about cleaning your house. But decluttering, we talked about that on the other platform.
Yeah.
On the other podcast. But it has there's rooms to be improved.
Yeah.
And like, I
But I
suppose
think
room
the-
to improve is all about massive projects, isn't it?
I've never.
You've never watched
maybe
it?
I've watched it, but let's click into it here. What's it saying?
Dermot isn't it?
Usually it's, do you know, when I see room to improve, it's, I don't know, does it target kind of, you know, people who've got 10 and 15 and 20 grand lying in their accounts, and I don't like those people having 20, 50, 30 grand just lying in their accounts.
Well, it's not lying in their accounts, Connie.
They've
A lot
got
of
so
them-
much money. They might have 100 grand in their accounts, and it's just lying there, and they're just going on with, like,
Well, it's not lying.
we've got
there.
a
They've
budget,
saved
Dermot,
it.
of 55,000, and you know, that's all we have. And I'm like, so I don't know, that maybe that's why I don't like it, you know, because they always have big budgets, and I'm looking at my credit union account, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I suppose that's probably why we don't watch it at the moment, because it's so out of. It's lovely
Out
to
of reality.
see, I suppose, but it's not feel good watching for us, because we know, for me anyway, because I know that this house, if it got that budget, would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Whereas the Salvage Squad now, that had €1,000 per room,
I'd be into that now.
that's where we're at, because
I'd be into,
we have
where's
so
that on?
much.
Is that on telly?
Yeah, I watched it. You watched an episode or two with me. It's a great show. It's on I think it was TV3. I watched it on one of the players anyway. But it's a great show, because they literally go to the thrift shops and they do all you know, paint, using what you have, like.
I'm reading some tweets now from Room to Improve. Like this exemplifies exactly what I think about this program. Big shout out to all the people watching Room to Improve on Twitter with the electricity gone and no telly.
What? I don't get it.
Just basically like stepping through the folding doors to an unfinished platter. Room to Improve. These are all in jokes. Basically, it's just like a big shout out to people watching Room to Improve, watching people spend money when you don't have any money yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I can't get the.
I would have said it's from all the people who have no power going, oh, look, those fuckers are able to watch Room to Improve.
With no telly. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
But that was the last one. That's kind of Dermot Bannon again. I suppose I need to try and get into these old. I don't have any opinion on him. He's tall.
You've
he's
no
got a bit
interest. You've no interest in house decor.
I don't. But even celebrity culture, it fucking baffles me how people are like, oh, like wouldn't it be wouldn't it be great to be on fucking, what's that thing that's on television there now at the moment? Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
I was opening for Deirdre O'Kane this weekend, right? In Collins. She was doing her Work in Progress show. And we were chatting, and we watched the LOL, the
Oh yeah,
it's fucking so
don't
good.
laugh. It's on Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Brilliant show.
About 10 or 12 Irish comedians locked into a room, and they have to make each other laugh. And if they laugh,
They're
out.
out.
And it's fucking fantastic. And Deirdre's in it, and she's brilliant in it. And and she's, honest to God now, the most down to earth person I've ever met.
One of the
status,
most famous Irish comedians.
Exactly,
like,
whose status is fucking
Huge.
through the roof. Like she could walk into any pub in any Ireland, in any county in Ireland, and people will go, "That's Deirdre O'Kane."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how famous she is on the island of Ireland, and she's a brilliant actress, been in great movies. Like she was in Intermission, right, with Cillian Murphy and fucking. He won a Golden Globe there last week. And Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
You know, Colin Meaney, like really accomplished actress and an absolutely fantastic comedian, but the most down to earth person. But anyway, I'm gone off the topic, right? I was chatting to her backstage, and we were talking about celebrities and stuff like that, and that dancing thing is on at the moment, and I said, I fucking don't know how people do that. And she did it, right? But I knew that. I knew she'd done it. I knew she'd done it.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, "What do you mean by that?" And I said, let me clarify, Deirdre. I don't know how people do that if they can't dance. I can't dance. And she said, if you can't dance, don't ever do it. She goes, because it's not, you don't want to go in and not be able to affect it. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah.
And like, I was thinking to myself, that actually makes sense. But I think a lot of people do it just to get on for the celebrity side of things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I think that was actually quite seminal advice. Like, don't do it for the fame. Like, just do it because you want to, win the show or try and affect the show.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Don't do it to be locked out the first round, like.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
could do it, like, be in it to win it, I suppose, kind of
Yes,
vibes.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought that's the right way to be in it. But, like, and then, like, another comedian that I know recently, I won't give the person's name, they were rang for their advice or for their opinion on a national topic, right? Will you come on the radio station and can you talk about what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And fairly inflammatory world event. And the person turned it down. Said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to just stick to my guns, doing what I do. I don't want to
Stay in my own lane.
I want to stay in my own lane. I
Yeah.
don't need to be giving my opinion on this. And I was thinking to myself, if someone rang me for that, then I'd be the fucking bollocks that would, like, because I think I might do that then, like, do you know what I mean? I'd be like,
Yes,
right,
yeah.
okay, yeah, sure, go on. I'll go up there and I'll give my opinion there on fucking Palestine, for example. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A half-baked, fucking, just because I think it might be something that I might be able
Something
to talk
to
about.
do, yeah.
And to raise your profile. But again, I think the person's approach was way more prudent, you know.
Depends on the topic, I suppose.
I suppose it depends on the topic.
I think if somebody approached you about talking about Palestine, you'd probably do it and do your research and do it quite well because you'd be passionate about it.
Yeah, but if they got me to come on now to talk about room to improve,
You shouldn't bother.
Whereas-
based on our conversation here, don't bother.
exactly, and that's the thing is, the celebrity culture sometimes they'd be like, "Fuck it, I'll go on,
Just do it.
I'll do it, I'll fucking go, shit,
Yeah.
I'll make it, I'll
Yeah,
get through it."
yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
I think that's a bit crazy. But then, that concludes Trending Topics with Cornelius Patrick
O'Sullivan. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful Cornelius singing there. He's still going. All right. Says me never.
So that's it now, guys. That's it. I don't know. Do we have anything else to talk about, really? Do we?
Oh, what about it being a little bit of a big week for you, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan?
Oh, yes. We do have a little bit more to talk about. So I'm doing the show on Saturday, and I have a fucking really busy week. I'm really excited for the show. There's 125 or so tickets left to sell the whole thing out, which is
Incredible.
incredible, and that's the French for incredible, if you didn't know. So I sold out downstairs, which is great, and
So are you like, do you know the way this week is quite busy now? You're in Dublin tonight. You're in Dublin on Friday. Wednesday, you've got shooting a documentary. We've got work on.
there's Tuesday we've got a fuckload on as well. Tyke and Claire are coming down.
Yeah.
And then I've got a load of just lots of.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, I didn't.
Oh
no.
yeah, no, I just.
No, because I was shooting a sketch in Tyke's house last week, and Claire was there, and we were supposed to do breakfast, and she said, "What about next Tuesday?" And I was like, "Yeah, no bother."
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't count that as being part of the busy week. You're busy professionally as well.
Busy professionally.
But it works well for you, does it?
I want to be busy. I want to be busy, and like for the last couple of months, there's been a behind the scenes kind of documentary happening for me as well. I haven't really talked about, and that's going to be. They're going to be coming here on Wednesday. They're going to be interviewing you and the boys, and they're going to be seeing what it's like, the day-to-day work of what I do here. They're coming. I'm opening for Chris in Vicar Street on Friday as well, which is fucking huge.
Incredible.
It's huge.
Brilliant. I'm using incredible a lot today, but it's all incredible. Yeah, it's all brilliant.
And like I don't take it for granted. I'm so fucking grateful for it. And then Saturday I've my biggest show ever, and in the Everyman, and I'm really looking forward to it. I have to stop. I'm going to have to stop looking at the tickets because the tickets are annoying me now at this stage. I'm just looking at ticket sales, because it's going so well, and now I'm like, okay, maybe I should try and push it. But I am going to push it, but I've got to stop looking at the sales. Do you know what I mean? Which is almost impossible. That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Call
You've been looking at it since they've gone
every
on
fucking
sale.
hour on the
hour.
And
I think that's you haven't not quite on the hour, but like. I suppose you're at the stage now where, what did you say, there's 125 left to sell. So that's like, this is the stuff of like beyond what you were going to be happy with.
Yeah.
Like Downstairs being full was happy, satisfied.
Very satisfied.
It's a success.
Yeah.
I mean, your show was brilliant. Like you've done your work.
I'm happy with it anyway.
You've done your whips. You know your show is very good. You've worked on it. You've got your material ready to go. So it is about the ticket sales. And now, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
well, I think it's like the way I look at it. And I fucking can't wait to do it. I can't wait for Saturday night. I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm also really looking forward to that being over as well, and not having to, because it's intense. Like, it's intense.
Well, there's a lot of work going in between posters and PR work and writing press releases and like all that side of chasing up to try and do interviews and getting on to people, the call to actions. Like, this week you're really like just going to push it for one last go for this week because you have to. I think so. And I'm like, I suppose like yesterday I went on Instagram and I was like, okay, so look, this is where I'm at. And this is how far away I am. And I suppose I'm just asking you lads if you wouldn't mind helping me out, help a brother out. Like, share and subscribe, put it up on your stories, tell your friends. Let's try and get, if everyone that watches my stories ended up telling someone who bought a ticket, then we're going to sell out. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, even, I have to stress this. I'm really happy no matter what happens now. I am. But I'm kind of competitive, and I'm like, come on, let's just try and push the envelope here now. Let's see if we can get. Yeah. Let's see if we can get. Like, it's I'm probably unrealistic. I don't know, but I'm going to just keep pushing it hard now and until Saturday. But then on Saturday, when I wake up on Saturday morning, I'm just going to be like, that's it now. Saturday's done. I'm going to give you the phone around 2:00, and I'm just going to try and get in the moment. And what we're going to do, we won't talk too much about it now, right? Because in an effort to get the hype train going, we're going to do a podcast every day this week. So today is Monday. We're going to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday morning. I've nothing else to be doing, trying to get the house ready for filming going on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, yeah. So yeah, that's exciting as well. The documentary, because he's coming. There's a crew coming up to Vicar Street with me on Friday. They've been inside in Coco doing whips. I was in with Deirdre O'Kane there at the weekend, and they came in and they were filming inside in there as well. And they've done some exit interviews with other comedians, and fucking cool to document.
Class. Just to end with the Everyman,
it's so cool. And it's these are all really fucking cool things. And also as well, my show on Saturday, it's been filmed for my special. So. Yes. like, you know, it's going to be my YouTube special, the first special I've ever put out. So it's all exciting, happy stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? And there is a lot of pressure and there's a lot of tension, and I suppose that's what we were talking about at the start, you know, a bit moody and stuff like that, you know. Or was that in the other podcast?
That was on the Patreon.
That was in the other Patreon. Sign up to that, by the way, lads.
Yeah, do it, yeah.
But like, you know, there's the pressure manifests in different kind of ways, and I'm really trying this week. I'm going to really try this week. I said this to you yesterday. I said, I just need to be organised.
Yeah.
Well in advance.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of tomorrow is going to be, actually, because I'm very busy, like, with gigs this week as well. Like, I'm doing another whip on Wednesday. I've got that Vicar Street gig on Friday. I'm in Whelan's tonight. And then, not to mention all the other fucking long list of things that have to be done. But it's great. Happy Thank You More, please. I'm fucking excited about it, and I'm excited to share it with everybody. And I know so many people that are coming on Saturday as well. Like,
Yeah. Well, there's so many people coming that have been with you at different parts of your journey, from your first gig to, you know, that, like, you know, there's a good few of my friends and my family coming that, like, are like, who the fuck is this fella 12 years ago, when, you know, their friend and their sister and their cousin was, like, you know, a scientist, and then she was coming saying, yeah, I've met this fella, he's a comedian and a window cleaner, like, polar opposites, bringing him down to Waterville, and him, you know. Remember when you were like, someone says you play golf, and you were like, yeah, I do, yeah, I love a bit of crazy golf.
Pitch and putt.
Yeah. Like,
I thought I was joking.
I thought it was a great joke. He's a very good comedian.
Fucking he's funny, all right.
Yeah.
Like, what's your handicap? Oh, fuck it. No.
I didn't think you could say that word anymore.
Yeah.
But, like, to you being on, like, the main stage of next year, the main stage of the Everyman yourself.
It's steady up now, steady up.
You know, it's kind of a full circle thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
not overnight. It wasn't
overnight.
You know, it was 10 years and 12 years
in the making.
15.
Yeah, and it's I fucking loved it all. I loved the journey of it. I think this
Don't stop
believing, yeah. Hang on to that feeling. I don't know the rest of the words, but all jokes aside, do you know what? I know people out there who have normal, we'll say normal inverted comma jobs, right? Electricians, chefs, people who work in your kind of industry, and even you, and they love their fucking job.
Yeah.
And they love it. Like they like, obviously there's days where they're like, oh, I have to go to work. I have the same, right?
Yeah, everyone. It's a hobby.
And they'll say to me, and they'll say it earnestly, I don't know how you can do that. And I will say back to them, I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah.
And everyone is on a different journey, inverted commas, but it is all about the journey. It is all about who you meet along the way, how you got around that bend.
Ebbs and the decisions. I think the decisions.
The micro decisions, yeah.
What's that? What's the sliding doors, isn't it? I'd love to watch that again.
I think Desiree said it best when she said, life, oh life, oh life, oh life, la la la. And in fairness, sir,
did she go?
She was afraid of the dark, especially when she was in the park.
The fucking Egypt. I was about to say, like, I was about to get into a moment, and you're off with fucking life, oh life.
But she did say it best, like.
Does she? I actually.
Fucking Desiree, she said it fucking best now.
I genuinely thought it was going to be like a nice little bit about, like, you know, making decisions along the way impacting your path. No.
But it does. It's like when I met that girl when I was doing that interview above in Live 95 for the Dolan's gig.
Yeah.
I met this girl, and she's works in the news desk up there, and she waited for me after the interview, and she was like, do you remember me? And I didn't really remember her. And until
face was familiar, but you didn't.
I recognize the face, but I'm terrible with names anyway. But then she reminded me who she was, and I was like, oh my God, she was like a journalist for the Echo 11 years ago actually, and she'd done an interview with me, and I got me a spread on the Echo, and we chatted for about 25 minutes, and I was real kind of throw back into history of and this is back in the origin days of the cocoa, back in the Grafton. Very, very few people remember the Grafton.
Yeah.
It was
pre me now.
It was pre you. It was like really the start of cocoa, and it was like she'd remembered it, and she knew little details about those nights that very few people knew, and I just remember thinking to myself, Jesus, wasn't it great now that, you know, I wasn't an asshole to that woman, or she didn't think I was an asshole, and that she waited on, and we'd shared another conversation, and then I offered her tickets for the Dolan's gig, and she'd something on, and she was like, I'm going to try and come and see you now. She goes, and I gave her the rest of the dates, and that's what it is like. It's those little fucking things. Like, I know you might say it's like kind of airy fairy, but like, it's no different than if you're an electrician and you're starting off and you do your apprenticeship, and then you're shit at your apprenticeship, and then in year 4 you're brilliant, and then you're working for someone else, and then you open up your own business, and then you take on someone else.
It's all the levels. There's levels in everything.
Levels, girl. I love the levels. I love that the levels don't end. I love that the whole thing is exciting. I wish that it was easier to make money from it, so that I wouldn't have that stress. Do you know? Like, but like, fuck it, if I didn't have that stress, then maybe it wouldn't be so much fun, you know, so who knows. I take less fun for more money, though.
Yeah. Sort of.
No, I wouldn't. I want more fun for more money.
So I'm going to end this podcast by saying Connie is doing a call to action for this week on his Instagram and on his platforms. But you have done it, but you'll be continuing. There'll be stuff to like and share over the week. And if people could please like, share and share his content this week relating to the selling of the tickets, it would be fantastic, because it's the algorithms. Even if you have 200 followers, the fact that you liked it means that it pushes the post. It pushes it. It's like, oh, somebody's got something here that somebody liked and shared. It really does. It's not just about how many people are going to see it because you shared it. It's everything behind it. And a lot of people who listen to this podcast are big fans of Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, like I am myself.
What?
And and if you're anywhere in the world, and you know, this is a great way of just giving him an old thumbs up and driving it on for the week that is the Everyman gig. La la la.
And I'd just like to say, I'm a superstitious girl. I'm the worst in the world. Never walk under ladders.
This is what I have to put up with. Like, I think I'll go back to the audits. I think I'll just leave.
Anytime,
I think I'm going to go back to work.
And name the place and I'll be there. Bungee jumping, I don't care. Life.
Oh,
life. Oh, life. Oh, life. Do life. Oh, life. Lorelei.
Good luck and bye.
Stand by the watch. Stand by the watch.